From the campus to the car, the bullhorn to the microphone, it's the Charlie Kirk Show.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. Email us, as always, freedom@charliekirk.com. I want to tell you about the great Y refi. Somebody out there in this audience right now is suffering from private student loan debt. I want you to think about that. Is it you? Is it a friend? Is it a family member? Is it a niece? Is it a nephew? Is it a granddaughter? Go to yrefi.com right now. I want you to think about that. Write it down. Text them. There's hundreds of billions of dollars in privately held student loan debt. Go to yrefi.com and refer them to be able to get out of debt today. That is yrefy.com. That is yrefi.com. YRefi is a great way to be able to get out of privately held student loan debt. They are phenomenal sponsors of our Student Action Summit, of America Fest, and one of the reasons I like working with them so much, one of the reasons why I'm so excited to work with them, is they actually help people get out of debt. They're helping people improve their lives and to get out of debt in a way that is reasonable, in a way that is smart, a way that is prudent, and a way that is mature. Go to yrefi.com. That is yrefi.com. Call 888-YREFI34. That is 888-YREFI34. So check it out right now, yrefi.com. Email us, as always, freedom@charliekirk.com. I could not love this D.C. takeover more. It's time to scale it and really study and think about what is Trump really doing here. I'll explain in a second. Okay, everybody, welcome back. Email us, as always, freedom@charliekirk.com. Ayn Rand was wrong on a lot of stuff, especially metaphysics, but she was probably the most talented anti-Marxist, understanding the liberal mind author of the 20th century. I would put her up against anybody. Ayn Rand said this: leftists do not want to own your fortune. They want you to lose it. They do not want you to succeed. They want you to fail. They do not want to live. They want you to die. They desire nothing. The left hates existence, and they keep running, each trying not to learn that the object of his hatred is himself. They are the essence of evil, she wrote about the left. They, those anti-living objects who seek by devouring the world to fill the selfless zero of their soul. It is not your wealth that they're after. Theirs is a conspiracy against the mind, which again means against life and man. Whew, that is well said, Miss Rand. Well said. This is liberals in a nutshell. That explains Maggioni. That explains Mamdani. They side with criminals. They side with parasites. A large chunk of the left is really strongly driven by resentment, and this inherently makes them against solving problems. Why would the left bring down crime rates? They side with criminals all the time. They want more criminals out of jail. They want fewer criminals arrested, not because they think this will help America, but because they know it will make it worse. They are a parasitic force on the United States of America, and this D.C. thing is a perfect test case. I cannot tell you, this D.C. thing now allows us to deal in reality. Not a murder for 7 days. That is unheard of in Washington, D.C. in the month of killing of August. There is this nihilistic drive that is the life force of the left. Now we have a control case, and now we have a template. President Donald Trump is the anti-abstraction president. President Donald Trump did not need another think tank from some nonprofit on K Street. By the way, you drive in D.C., there's all these, $100 million buildings of this institute and this foundation. And some of them are plenty nice people. President Donald Trump did not need another, sir, here's a 55-page white paper on how you might. He said, I don't know, this is a waste of time. Rolling the tanks. We don't need a white paper. We need Marines. We need bombs in Fordo. We need B-2 bombers flying over Putin's head. We need John Deere tractors, hard business numbers, criminal in cages, and illegals getting tackled in the streets. You see, Russell Kirk wrote about this, one of my favorite authors, no relation. He wrote about this in The Conservative Mind. Russell Kirk wrote, politics is the art of the possible, not the pursuit of utopia. Russell Kirk taught us that where the conservative movement went wrong is they spent too much time in the clouds. And boy, is that true if you listen to the D.C. conservative political elite. They're constantly talking about abstractions. I can talk about abstractions all the time. I think it's fun at times to talk about the Platonic ideal. We just spent times with Dr. James Orr. And this is the problem at its core of libertarianism, is you get so consumed in the archetype and the ideal that you do not understand, hey, but you have thought one thought too many. It's a great philosopher who said that. Sometimes you could be a victim of going one thought too many. And then Trump's combined with action, with praxis, which is the ancient Greek word for practice. And that is where Republicans are kind of, I don't quite understand this, because they have been raised in a tradition. They have been raised in a culture. They have been raised in a conservative movement that is so overwhelmingly committed to the abstract and the distant while they ignore the immediate and the action-oriented. The D.C. machinery cares about NATO. President Donald Trump's like, I care about D.C. Yeah, NATO's fine, but why don't Europe fund NATO and we fix D.C.? Trump is the anti-ideologue president. Trump was not a conservative philosopher. He was the first president to live like a real person, suspicious of abstractions and loyal to reality. He did not bow to these idols of the global order, expert consensus, or institutional prestige. He asked the Kirkian question, not the Charlie Kirk question, the Russell Kirkian question. Does this serve the American people, or is it just a theory? Let me repeat it. Every single time President Donald Trump makes a decision, he says, is this a theory developed by some think tank guy from Yale, or does this actually improve and better the American Republic? Russell Kirk famously said ideology is just politics gone mad. And Trump said enough with the madness. And we see it now on full display. For all the people that have had their cars jacked, for all the murders in D.C., you can now know Muriel Bowser, they were choosing to allow it to happen. If you live in a major U.S. city and it's dirty and it's crime infested, it's because your leaders are choosing for that to happen. Crime is a choice. Look at El Salvador. And now it's time for us to scale it to all of America's greatest cities. We have a control case of a week. Let's spread it out to a month, and then let's turn America's cities into the safest in the Western Hemisphere. And I don't care if the Democrats object. Alex Marlow joins us next.